go around one-shotting IO keeper, and if he can keep gold from them and keep it down a little bit, especially delaying, then it should buy enough time for both Storm.
And the Fear Visage, yeah. 7-0 is Sphere on Visage in 2018. I love this EG draft, guys.
Yeah, Visage with Beastmaster is insane. Attack speed aura that you get from birds is just going to amp them up even more. There is damage mitigation from Underlord. That's definitely one of the better heroes against the Visage.
He can build Crimson.
Yep, exactly. Rush Crimson. So there is ways to with the Visage, but you've got to get their side. You can't just lose in 20 minutes like every team has done against you.
With there being a Visage now, it's like a really good 5-man kind of push strategy. You get Helm the Dominator, just push lanes. Hard for Visage by the damage output on the Dire team.
I do think this is a much closer drafting game one, though.
I would agree.
All right. Well, let's find out. Let's find out if VGJ Thunder can stop Evil Geniuses for now to become the first NA champion here for a DPC event with our commentary duo of Capitalist and Blitz.
Well, VGJ Thunder this time around, they got some signature picks of theirs. A Freeze Storm Spirit, a Yang Underlord. And I gotta ask my co-caster, as always, Blitz, Skinny Storm Spirit, is it a good Storm Spirit game?
It is pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's all right.
But you've been hyping on this hero, like you've been saying this hero is just not really good right now. Is pretty good enough for the Storm Spirit right now?
I'm not sure. I think Sylar's gonna have to. I think Sylar's job is easy. Run in, try to kill the backline. They wanted something mobile to be able to gap, so I think Storm works in that regard. Probably don't go for the typical build of going like Bloodstone. I feel like they learned their lesson from last game. You have to speed up the game in the tempo.
On the other side of the table, though, Evil Geniuses, a Wisp or a Beastmaster, excuse me. A duo that we've seen many a time from Evil Geniuses. A Fear Visage as well. It feels like Evil Geniuses are very comfortable with their draft as well, and they are also going to be playing that fast pace against VGJ Thunder, just like we saw in Game 1.
Gonna lay down some wards, immediately run, and not to show their lanes quite yet. Oh, EG doing the exact same thing that EG did. Figure out where everybody's placed right now.
Misery. Just on the side here now. Sylar does have Tree Throw, level 1. Don't really think they can actually catch anybody side of Evil.
30 seconds to battle.
They're all gonna get spotted. And this is probably one of the more prolific counters that we've seen lately to the Chen. Being such a good hero lately. Everyone's been picking the light. Make sure that you shove in the wave. Make it hard for the Chen to just dive you.
Misery is also looking to block that hard camp to make it so that Fade has to play on maybe its own side of the map when it comes to finding some of those creeps. VGJ Thunder are going to be late up to that top rune, but it's going to be the Tiny challenging Misery's Keeper of the Light, so they're still going to be able to split up the runes, it looks like, 2 for 2.
Sylar gonna go back for the rune. It actually looks like they're gonna go safe lane. Scout it at the lane.
Do you feel this is about right? The Underlord matched up against the Beastmaster Wisp. I'm feeling like Tiny would not enjoy that lane all.
It's a really aggressive lane. Yang is gonna be a little bit hard pressed here, but he does have to help with DDC. Witch Doctor being one of the best 5-position safe lane support in the game right now.
You could see him already trying to challenge Crit. He's got an extra armor as well as a decent amount of damage lead on that Wisp.
The damage he's taken already, though, doesn't have the most amount of regen. You gotta be careful about these trades.
What about our 1v1 matchup in mid? Freeze Storm Spirit versus EG's Fear Visage.
I think this is fine for Storm. He's got high armor. The movement speed's a little bit bad, but he can always just Remnant for CS. He can trade hits pretty effectively here if they're already doing.
Yeah, it seems like Freeze off to an early lead, 6-2, and Fear been dropping lower and lower this whole entire time. He does have a courier coming out to him with the healing.
Really well for himself. This is the kind of lane that Storm wants, where he feels like he's not going to get contested. If you look at the supports, the side of EG, oftentimes what Storm Spirit players fear is the rotation early on. But who's going to move in?
On Sumail here. A lot of that damage is going to be undone by Crit, who's going to blow through his all his bottle charges here. In anticipation for that 2-minute rune, it looks like Sumail may help him out secure those runes.
EDC is going to fight him, though. The lane.
Throw the Maledict on him if he wants. Steve's, if he can actually maybe get a kill here, Crit gonna be able to pick up that bounty rune. That is hugely important. He needs those charges to be able to stay alive, but here comes Yang. He managed to get the first blood, and it looks like Sumail, he's gonna be in trouble too. Takes a lot of damage from Yang. Gonna continue to run him down and decides against it as he knows the Wisp is gonna be coming in soon.
Elects not to use Valve. Very nice pickup as this lane has been working wonders for EG, but VGJ that get first kill on the board. And at bottom lane, the Tiny's not even doing that bad. Sylar left to his own devices. Taking a lot of damage though. One more hit.
Oh, the blast not quite enough. 13 HP. Now it's going to be Satyr Blast. Barely misses on Misery. Sylar is going to be sent back to base and has a TP ready to go, so he won't be gone for long. Honestly, it's looking like VGJ Thunder, they've shored up their laning phase a lot. Yang being able to pick up that first blood. It's still going to be a hard lane for him, especially now that they're lacking on regen. You can see Sumail and Crit pretty much fearless. They just keep on charging at this Underlord. But at least the other lane, they should go pretty well, you already said. Look, Storm Spirit against Visage, that's going to be all right. Sylar, thanks to the Chen, seems to be doing okay on CS as well against that Phantom Lancer. At least keeping up.
You pick Storm in a game like this because the support duo is going to be relatively passive. You don't fear the gank from the IO or the Keeper of the Light here.
Lance after Lance just keeps on coming in against Sylar. That's got to be pretty annoying. Coddle always being able to give more mana for the Spirit Lances on Arteezy. Top lane, just go ahead, cut that creep wave. Make it even harder for Yang to be able to play this laning phase out.
So this mid lane continues to be absolutely dominant for Frick. Last game had to play that off lane Brewmaster, did not enjoy himself. This time around, his more natural mid role, and a hero that he's going to feel much more comfortable.
Keep away.
Here, he's going to get sent back to base. Freeze is going to get his level 6 pretty much uncontested.
Now, are we going to see any early rotations from him, or do you just happy with the way the life is going, keep on farming up? Charge into the bottom lane, bit of damage onto Arteezy. No real kill attempt just yet. Sylar thinking about it there for a second. If he can get a toss plus that Satyr Blast, maybe. They actually lose the Satyr in the process, though. Fade was hoping to be able to send it back. Not the case. DDC actually setting up on for that opportunity, waiting for Fear to be a little bit out of place here. Freeze is going to start moving forward. DDC leads with the Maledict and the cast combination, getting a decent amount of damage onto Freeze, but Freeze, oh, DDC, actually a shot for the tower. It actually finished him off here, and Freeze, not being level 6, could not capitalize on that Maledict setup onto the Visage.
All he had to do was be a little bit more patient, but they rush things. Freeze even has an Arcane Rune. If he waits that creep wave out, probably going to get level 6 or at least close to it. And then surely you get the kill, but they rush things and now Fear, he's okay in this lane.
Okay, maybe it's time for round 2. VGJ Thunder this time with Fade, wrapping around from the side with a Centaur. Fear is playing pretty far back. Meanwhile, top lane, Yang is in some trouble. They're going to force out a Storm Spirit TP. He does have his level 6. He's going to make that long jump. Holding on to it for now. I think he wants to be able to go for the Wisp first. Now he jumps forward. Managed to find Crit. Meanwhile, Sumail's going to go for the kill on Yang. That is definitely going to be a dead Wisp. Now the question is whether or not Yang will survive. He, playing around the tower, wants to be able to fight Sumail underneath his fire. Sumail does manage to get the kill and now looks to be able to TP out. Healing salve will keep him alive for the time being. Eats through the trees, goes for a TP out, and Freeze has nothing to be able to stop that.
That bottom lane, Arteezy gonna get gone on.
Centaur stun on the fake PL, and Fade is the one in trouble in the back line. So they're gonna try and run him down with the illusions here. Sylar also gonna need some help. Fade, go send back from him just yet. Sylar turning, trying to get the toss up, but dead anyway.
And they get the bigger target here. As the Chen, only level 2, commits the Lance to the Tiny instead. Nice pickup as Fade. Does not have the sort of impact you want as a Chen. He only has 3 last hits, remaining level 2. trying not to soak the XP from the Tiny, but hasn't really felt his presence in this game at all.
You said Evil Geniuses, they were running VGJ Thunder around the map. That was what got them such big advantage in game 1. Well, game 2, it's happening again. Look what happened at
They
mid.
want to go for the dive with the Wisp.
Siler, they're going to try forward here. The Wisp coming in from the side for Arteezy.
Got the
Wants
Lance.
to be able to help him out with that extra movement speed, but not feeling a dive on a tier 2 just yet. Meanwhile, top lane, paralyzing cast, Animaltic, follow up the storms here. Long chip in. They're going to be able to bring down Sumail. A critical kill worth 300 gold.
They needed something like that. It goes on the hero. They might not necessarily want to have the last hit as DDC does grab it, but every single time the storm rotates, top one wasn't too successful. This time around, Fear just continues to farm through it. Despite being at maybe like a 12 CS disadvantage, he's caught up, and look at this mid tower. It's already being taken.
Yeah, exactly. The last time Storm went up there was a siege wagon push, so Fear just decimated that tower. Yang has been struggling to stay ahead of these tower pushes. In fact, his life has been threatened so often, he's going to try and pop the ultimate here, get away from the Phantom Lancer. He is successful. Back over the top lane, going for Sumail again. Public enemy number 1, it seems. Sumail, he's going to be going down again in this top lane, as Freeze is just going to camp it out here.
And he is the highest net worth on his team, so this is worth it for Freeze to commit every time.
Siler, dealing with a Visage Bird's going to be stunned up, but DDC making sure that Fear can't go for the dive.
Nice rotation from DDC. His cast going to be incredibly effective in this game. A lot of aggression on the side of EG. That's going to stop them in their tracks with the type of heroes they have. Freeze, going to make the rotation. Fear.
Manage grab Misery, slowing him down a little bit more. Freeze going to run out of mana soon, needs a couple more hits. Misery gets into the trees, lost vision. Freeze, he is now out of mana entirely.
Sumail going to be mana'd up. Doesn't have the level 6. It looks like he wants to try to commit the axes, though.
He does. Spot Freeze. Bolt axe is actually landing on a Freeze here. He needs the help. He needs the Chen to be able to save him. Another axe comes in. Here comes the send back. Sumail. 3 seconds until another round of axes. It's not going to be up in time, so instead he just runs at base and pulls the creep wave around.
Very nicely done.
Over to bottom lane. Yang, this time around, he does not have that get a jail. Free card, no Dark Rift, but he does have a Tiny. He's going to threaten the life of the Wisp.
Crit barely misses.
Is going to be forced back, but the Avalanche is not able to get the Wisp, and that means no kill for Siler.
He was barely outside of the range of that. Would have been a really nice turnaround as Siler trying to catch up now.
I had to say, VGJ Thunder, they're struggling to keep up, but they are keeping up with Evil Geniuses' rotations around the map.
They've got a much better lineup to do so. In game 1, it felt like they had no chance of biting back, but this time around, they have very active heroes. Putting a lot on Freeze right now. Indeed, he is not going for the Bloodstone build. Understands that EG played a very fast pace. He's got to match that tempo. Gonna go for the Kaya. Likely go for the Orchid right after.
It helps that you have some Chen creep to be able to defend these towers when heroes cannot. That's exactly what the Satyr does in the top lane. Pulls a creep wave off of that tier 1. Fear still wants to be able to take it, though.
Fear committing hard for that Satyr. He is getting pretty low, though. And I think VGJ, they should fight this. Freeze.
They're coming in mass. They're actually smoked up between DDC and Styler. And a Storm Spirit hovering around that river area, ready to make the long jump if necessary. They spotted a Visage. Catch him with the Avalanche. They can catch the Familiars as well. That's not just the Visage Fear, but maybe some Familiar bounty as well, as they're going to try and pick that one up. Freeze should be able to dive for it, or it'll be the tree from Styler.
You notice in both games what they're trying to do, though. They're trying to peel away pressure from this bottom lane. So no matter what, EG, even if they're losing out on kills, they're trying to secure the Phantom Lancer's farm. Allow Arteezy to have the freest game possible, even if it costs you a death or 2. And it remains to be seen if these trades are worth it for VGJ. You're not really pressuring the Phantom Lancer, but you are getting kills on core heroes.
The Phantom Lancer, not the best hero being able to take towers, but he has done it. Oh, here comes a relocate behind Siler here. He needs the help of Faith. Tries to go for the sendback, but the Beastmaster is just going to be too much damage. They take that kill and will gladly take the tower as well.
That's the benefit of having the relocate. Punish that single hero rotation as Sumail.
Oh, they're actually going to bring Arteezy up to this top lane, and they're going to go for the kill on Yang. The Phantom Lancer, a great hero to be able to run this one down. The Dark Rift is out. Yang going to be pushed back into Arteezy. Tries to go into the trees. Dark Rift should be successful here.
Easily makes it out. Had 10 magic wand charges top of that. Gonna TP back up at top. He wants to defend this tier 1 tower. They made the mistake of giving up way too much control in game number 1.
Radiant are scanning.
do have the successful scan. Question is, how many other heroes of VGJ Thunder are willing to head to that top lane if there's a dive from EG? It looks like they're not going to go for it here, not feeling comfortable with it. EG instead focused just farming on Arteezy. As you said, he seems to be the golden boy of EG right now. They're doing everything they can to protect and enable this carry.
That's why you see Sumail oftentimes, he's going to get really aggressive in the off lane. Trying to put as much pressure. They can hard for him to get ignored. This time around, Vici, they're trying to match the pace. But even with that, being up a kill, they are down 2,000 gold.
And just like you said in game 1, relatively even kill score, despite the...
That just seems to be the trend with EG. They trade one of these 4 kills so that 2 of their cores can be farmed. VGJ, it feels like they're so reluctant to just make these 1 or 2 kills happen. They bring so many heroes to do so.
With the way they've been kind of run around the map, all of these heroes have to walk out in order to get some farm because they got to keep their TPs up just in case Evil Geniuses go for that next big dive. You could see Freeze, he's trying to finish up his Kaya right now, has it on the courier. So that's a big upgrade. Even just going to pop the Shrine to make sure he's 100% combat ready.
He's going to have to be the hero that carries them in this mid game. The Tiny's a little bit further behind than he'd like to be. They're going to make the smoke though. Mail and Misery look like they're going to be the targets. The Spear, letting his Familiars farm. This could be a really nice attempt from VGJ. There is a relocate available.
He's going to be on the high ground. Going to be able to see Sumail. Gets him with the avalanche, a pushback from Misery, and they feel uncomfortable with this fight, especially with the relocate up. A wise decision from VGJ Thunder not to pursue.
Crit immediately preps the Spirits. Very nice pushback from Misery.
Yeah, he could be in some trouble here. He does have Dark Rift as well as the TP. He's just going to blow the TP here. Storm Spirit coming up to the top lane. They're going to Dark Rift up to top as well. Maybe he can catch crit. Freeze. Not going to go for it though, and it's a good thing too. Beastmaster's actually well. He's going to go for the roar onto Freeze. They've already got the damage out for the Underlord, but they need more to be able to protect this Freeze. Storm Spirit, he goes down. You said he had to be able to close over that mid-game area for VGJ Thunder. The Storm Spirit dying there is seriously going to delay his progression in item.
It sort of feels like VGJ are just reacting a little bit too slow. They're not playing very proactively. They went for 1 smoke in that bottom area that failed them. It feels like they're just running at whatever heroes they see on the map without too much thought. They're going to go for this bottom tower aggression as Sylar pushing forward with the creeps, trying to get the wraparound, take this bottom tower, and Misery going to run into them.
They are going to find him here. Paralyzing Cask into a Centaur stun, plus the Hellbear clap, an easy kill. An important one at that. As otherwise, the Keeper of Light would have made it hell for VGJ Thunder to actually trade out tower and take this bottom lane.
But look at the trade here.
Oh,
and EG,
dear.
they've been so effective at getting the trades this entire tournament. VGJ, they've got to react to this, but I don't think they know. They're just going to go for the bottom tower instead. Try to get something out of this. That is fast.
Every single time, it seems like Evil Geniuses trading 2 for 1. Whether it's objectives, whether it's heroes.
They're not even going to trade. They want to defend this.
They certainly are. Misery going to prep out the blast here. Styler is going to be kind of baited into this tower. Here comes the roar out from Sumail, but he has the help of DDC in the back lines. Wants to be able to get the paralyzing cast. The send back for the Chen will save him, and it's only DDC who will die.
Bottom tower does go down, so they do get some sort of trade. And Fear right now is spotted in this mid lane. Freeze not willing to commit that fight. They do manage to grab the tower, but the Roshan obviously being the bigger bounty.
As a Storm, it just feels like he can't really go on a Visage too much. He's too tanky, and he's always got those Familiars protecting him as well. Very suitable hero for Evil Geniuses matchup. Fear can always play aggressively forward, much like he did with the Viper.
I think they thought that Sylar would have a much better time, get an early blink, and they get aggressive everywhere. But the timeline has kind of just been shifted. Sylar has to get that blink dagger before they can engage.
Freeze runs into Arteezy, gets a bit of damage on him. Now Crit's Wisp is not too close, but it's not really needed.
This is going to be the timing right now for VGJ. Get the blink dagger on the Tiny and start getting aggressive with your Storm. Can't allow EG to just farm out the entire map on their supports as well.
It's going to pick it up. But it's going to be in an awkward time here. Spotting Fear. The Visage, maybe not someone he wants to go on. Maybe
Yeah, they know Misery's there.
They know
1
somewhere,
second,
and
he's gone.
everybody's getting the TP out. The vision comes too late from Freeze. And now that Blink Dagger should be revealed by EG.
Now you've got a book 3 on this Beastmaster, and it just feels like they're just reacting a little bit too late.
Dire's top
They
tower
have to be
is
faster
under
about
attack.
this. This top lane being taken, but there's only 3 heroes here.
Look
EG
at
are
that
showing the other
Dire's
2.
structures are fortified.
This is a fight that theoretically you should be able to take somewhere on the map.
They know they can just keep
Dire's
going
top
for that
tower
tier
has
2. A
fallen.
successful scan from EG read that smoke.
Dire are scanning.
And the reason why you scan there is nobody's defending top, and they're showing 2 heroes on the map. They have to be going for some kind of play.
Storm Spear. Not going to be going for a Lincoln's here. The pickup might just be able to find Misery. Tyler and DDC still sticking around that mid-tier area.
Birds are flying through, but Sumail stops the book, reading that they were at that bottom lane with that smoke, so he knows that there were wards placed in this general direction. He's immediately going to deward it.
Remember that, what was it? Maybe Perfect World Masters likes to use junk. There's a lot of junk on EG. Necronomicon, Familiars, Helmet Dominator creeps running out. Visage is going to be caught, though, with an Invis rune from the Tiny. That burst damage not quite enough. They couldn't get the Chen either. A blink back from the Tiny, but it's still going to be caught. Slowed down by the Phantom Lancer. Here comes the Spirit, trying to go for the back line, but it's just all of them way too tanky. DDC is going to be caught as well. 2. Freeze, hoping to be able to slow him down. Might have just done so as well. The blast isn't quite well enough, and DDC actually gets sent back in time. So he saves his support.
Very well done, but you notice the Storm, he tries to jump in, he just doesn't deal any damage at this point. Now they're going to lose a tier 2. VGJ, Yang has to be there for these engagements. He's the only hero that can really frontline anymore against EG. That's a 9,000 gold lead despite only being up 1 kill. They're just consistently trading. Even if VGJ get a kill, it feels so difficult for them.
And at this point, Evil Geniuses, do they really even need to split up that much? Can't
No.
they just kind of stick around each other non-stop?
I think they just continue to play this style. If you gank one of us, well, the other 4 heroes are farming something map. Misery's just constantly using
Somebody
his
is going
blast.
to get ganked here, and he actually left an item. That's going to be an old talisman drop, but the Familiars double drop down are going to be able to slow down this pursuit.
Freeze
Now,
wants
Fear,
something.
He wants to actually bait this out a little bit. They're going to go for the Familiars. But a resummon, paralyzing cast, still going to stick with them, though.
They need
And
to get
Yang,
out of here.
They still want to try and fight this one. EG is coming in fast. Yang, is he going to pop the Dark Rip? They're going to need it too. Arteezy's already tearing apart a lot of these heroes. And Sword there goes down as well. Sumail managed to grab him.
Yang,
you
you gotta
more
get
Dark Rips. It's going to be too late. Yang, he may still fall anyway. He does. Now it's the Tiny. Last one left alive for VGJ Thunder and Evil Geniuses. They can definitely run him down. They'll keep damage on him non-stop to make sure there's no Blink Dagger away. Another 5-man wipe, Evil Geniuses. It's not going to be a total repeat of game 1. We're 20 minutes in and it isn't over yet, but it's close to it.
They're just going to go high ground with no Pit Lord available. They couldn't even kill the birds. They wanted so little. All they wanted was the birds. They didn't even care about getting feared. This is how one-sided this game is at this point. And they're going to go for more.
The crowd is getting into it. They know EG is in a great position right now. Having taken a lane of Rax at 20 minutes, 12-6, a 16,000 gold lead for them. And there's no rush whatsoever for EG. They'll back it out, play the shrines. They've even got a second Roshan they can play around.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
Hell, they've got a ton of items coming in as well. Aghanim Scepter almost finished up for Fear.
Dire's
This has got to be a
top
pretty
shrine
frustrating
has
feeling.
fallen.
Vici have been in this position in so many of these majors and minors. But they need to be able to close out.
Freeze has just got to be so careful. His positioning in these team fights.
He needs this Orchid. Otherwise, the supports just don't go down. They're starting to get really tanky now too.
Seeing how the blinding light is causing him some issues as well.
That's a problem with Storm nowadays. He feels like he's in such an odd position because if you try to go for the late game, it feels like you get run over. If you go for the mid game, it feels as though you don't have enough damage.
Run, Siler, run. Into the trees. Samael found him. Primal Roar stops the TP. A relocate in just to make sure it's not a team fight. But EG demolishing more VGJ Thunder heroes.
And this is the second game in a row that they've decided to
Whoa,
stack
and top lane, back to the relocate. Crit is going to be caught.
Nice pickup.
I'm not going to lie, Blitz. That might have just been worth it for VGJ Thunder, considering they're down 16k.
Yeah, you need any sort of kills at this point, even from a momentum standpoint.
I mean, even with the patch change, just look at the net worth right now of the Tiny Wisp. They're actually not that far off.
This is a product of sacking Siler once again. You look at the way that the teams are treating their respective one-position heroes. Arteezy was given the freest of games. Siler, he's got a Blink Dagger.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Hasn't even been able to come online.
Well, Roshan's up. Free for the taking
Dire
for
are
Evil
scanning.
is up in right now.
They do have the Orchid completed.
And Roshan is always an opportunity for a comeback, right? A big Roshan fight may be the only thing that VGJ Thunder has left.
I think it's really difficult, but you get one decent fight. If you can silence up the Beastmaster, get on top of him, pop somebody, maybe you stand a chance here.
And it's not like crazier things haven't happened at this tournament. Seen some pretty wild back and forth games.
After watching that Infamous series and the Na'Vi Fnatic one, I'm not entirely willing to count out VGJ.
You're a believer. Anything can happen.
I think it's a little bit difficult at this point, to say the least, but who knows?
Evil Geniuses. Oh, this Silver Edge. Doesn't actually go to the high ground. I thought he was just going to find a free initiation on a fort.
Gonna go for the Shrine instead. Looks like they're waiting for the next Roche. EG understand how far ahead they are. They're playing so carefully at this point.
Dire's bottom shrine has
Might as
So
well
close
take
to
the
winning
Shrines.
their first Valve event.
Yep. Yeah, Samael Reaver, it is. So he just bumped up to 2300 HP.
Looking for me?
Just like the previous series. For he's going to go for the heart. Freeze. Now, Arteezy, this would be quite impressive if you could actually kill a Stormtrooper that fast, maybe with the help to relocate just the Wisp by himself.
Yeah,
He's
that was
gonna blow
optimistic.
all of it, man.
Very unlikely kill. But they're gonna go for the Roshan instead. And this is the second one of the game, just at 25 minutes. This comes with the cheese.
All right. Apparently Mystery brought in a Phantom Lancer illusion. But the real thing is here to be able to claim that Aegis, and she, which I'm presuming is going to go to Crit. Nope. Going to be Fear. All right, VGJ Thunder. Any time for Miracle, it's time now. A high ground defense.
They're gonna try to get to them before they reach the base.
Okay, see if they can actually get some sort of pick off on somebody.
This is your last hurrah.
They're going to lead with DDC. Okay, the Phantom Lancer is actually going to be the first one spotted here with the Silver Edge. He actually goes in onto the Underlord. A tanky hero, that's not the easiest kill in the world. In fact, they brought him low. Arteezy's going to lose.
He's on the cliff.
Now the Primal Roar. In fact, it's going to be Crit. Almost done. Meanwhile, Samael's on the high ground. What are you doing up there, Samael? The whole entire fight's happening. You can't do a damn thing. It's Connell. He's going to die as well. 2 supports dead, but VGJ Thunder, they can't finish out this thought. It is far too much. The Phantom Lancer on round 2 is too much for them to be able to handle. Nice doppelganger dodge.
Top tower has fallen.
But Evil Geniuses will push back and take this second lane of rack.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Cliff is pop, but with their 2 high ground defense heroes down,
Dire's top
We're asking for an impossible hold here as EG. They're going to start making their way down bottom, and good game is
That's
called.
Evil Geniuses
Dire's bottom tower is under
making it
attack.
look easy here at the grand final stage against VGJ Thunder, who had just been a finalist in Bucharest